Gentlemen, I am innocent of everything of which I am accused. I hope my blood may cement the good for the future of Trinity.
Hola! Today I'm talking about the October ban list, that is, the ban list that was made in September for the October format. Reasons why people voted on things, how much they voted on things, that sort of thing. Getting into it, Inferno. I predicted this last list. Void Vanishment and Decatron of swap places. Wasn't really that close, 3 to 7, with not so many dislikes for the second. Yeah, it's generally decided that once you resolve Void Feast, it's pretty good. But if you have 2 negates on board with 2 Decatron, it's really, really strong. Co-forbidding Void Vanishment just killed the deck completely, like no one has played it. Perhaps with Decatron at Co, deck's a little bit worse, you're still able to pull off your Void Feasts, but they won't be as oppressive. So yeah, I think most people seem to agree that that's what we want in the format, and that's what happened. There's another hit later on, which was actually an unhit, which maybe makes Infernoids even better, but I'll get into that when it comes. Shadow Fusion next up, going from co-forbidden to semi-forbidden. It's just a slap on the wrist for the Flip deck. Flip is Shadows and Subterrors. Shadow Fusion is just insane. At some point, I could consider this card so good that it's maybe ban-worthy. I've played many games against Flip where they've just dominated and they haven't even resolved a Shadow Fusion the entire game. The threat of Shadow Fusion means that you can't really go into the extra deck, and on top of that, the card itself is just so inherently busted. Like, it's a +4 or something. It's less splashable at semi now. You'll see less decks wanting to just like cram some Shadows in just for the value of Shadow Fusion. Didn't really happen before, but it's not going to happen now at semi. Even so, it's still a really strong card. Keep my eye out on this one. Probably won't get hit next list, but sometime in the future near you, you can probably maybe expect Shadow Fusion to get banned. Trickstar Light Stage. Trickstars have come onto the scene. They've always like been in the background, but no one's really experimented with Trickstars that much. Recently, people have started to realize how good they are. You've got 2 main searchers with Candina and Light Stage. Light Stage is going from Co to Semi here. On top of that, Reincarnation is also a searcher, which you can mill it with Foolish Burial Goods or whatever. But the main thing that people don't like about it is how it just banishes your opponent's entire hand, which in a format where everything is a one-of, means that you get rid of every copy of every card that was in their hand. Pretty powerful. Light Stage was the hit just because it does more things. On top of searching and being searchable, it also destroys back row every turn, which is really annoying. Again, in a future list, maybe even the next ban list, I wouldn't be surprised to see either Trickstar Candina go to Co, or Light Stage get banned outright, or maybe Reincarnation get banned outright, but the last one I don't think is correct. Reincarnation at semi is borderline playable. I wouldn't really say you slam it in every Trickstar deck, but I haven't been playing Trickstar, so what do I know? Yeah, but pretty much everyone again wanted this to go to semi. Totally Awesome was at semi, now it's at Co. Yeah, no one really wants it at Unlimited, which is fair enough, because it's really easy to make big negate guy recycles itself, so you only need 1 copy, it's not really affected by the Highlander rule. Co-forbidden seems more fair. I know some people have been playing more decks with it at semi now. When it went to semi, just everyone stopped playing it. It wasn't even played that much before. Then people start to realize how good like a monster that just 2200 attack negates a thing, potentially multiple things, summons frogs. It's a really strong card. At Co, I think it will definitely see more play. Will it be as oppressive as some people are making out? Some people said like Totally Awesome is really going to be seeing a lot more play. I don't know, that's for you guys to test. I think it's more fair at Co. I think its semi is quite a harsh hit, but we'll see. Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. This is one I did not see coming, but everyone voted for this, as you can see, like 11 to no one. Man, Slumber is weird. It's the best board wipe in the format. If you had the choice of playing Slumber or Raigeki, ignoring the fact that you have to put Kaijis in your deck, Slumber's just better, because you destroy everything, and then you always get a 3/3 attack monster, which you can just kill their weaker thing. On top of that, it searches a kaiju. Like, after you've used it, it's just an incredibly good card. The big downside is you have to play kaijus. And kaijus and Trinity aren't actually good cards. In the TCG, they're played a lot because there are all these unkillable boss monsters like Apocryphal Towers or Raid Raptors or whatever. And the kaijus can tribute them because, you know, it's unaffected, but it can still be tributed. In Trinity, you don't really get any of those boss monsters, so your kaijus are kind of just -1s, because you get rid of an opponent's monster, but then you give them a card and you lose a card. We haven't really seen them like be used much. A lot of new players put them in sideboards. Kaiju Slumber going to Ko definitely makes the kaiju decks more viable. I think at Unlimited this card is absurd. At Ko Forbidden, I've been testing around and it's difficult to justify playing kaijus when realistically they aren't actually that good. Gamma Seal's really good if you play the full-on kaiju deck and you can get counters and negate stuff. But outside of that, giving your opponent a big monster, like the thing you're tributing is probably less good than the kaiju you're giving them, so we'll have to see. I think maybe a good hybrid deck of kaiju and something else can possibly come onto the world stage, but whatever. This is the Infernoid thing I was talking about. Card destruction to Ko. Ho ho ho, card destruction. I made an entire algorithm to work out how good this card is. And realistically, it's not that busted. The chance of you having multiple good cards that you want to discard isn't that high, and inherently card destruction is a -1, so you need at least 2 things in your hand that you want to discard to make card destruction viable. You also have to be able to get rid of the other cards in your hand that you don't want to discard, and on top of this you have to justify the fact that your opponent is probably, if they've got cards in hand, it's potentially because they are like bricks or something, so every time you use a card destruction, you're possibly just giving your opponent more cards than you can actually get out of this. So you need to have 2, maybe even 3 cards in your hand just to make it a +1. On top of that, it's a terrible top deck. Potentially, I think it could see playing Infernoids, maybe alongside your Co-Forbidden Decatron. The idea there is like all your Infernoids are kind of bricky, so you just want to get rid of all of them, draw a fresh hand of more Infernoids, and then you can like start comboing off or whatever. I don't even think you'll see much play at all at Ko. I'm vouching for this thing to Unlimited, but Unlimited it is probably too good in mill decks, and no one really wants those to be viable, so I think Ko's a fun place. Again, pretty much everyone wanted this at Ko. Disc Commander, literally everyone wanted this Unlimited. It got an erratum, singular erratum, plural errata for all you idiots out there. Yeah, Disc Commander, now it's like once per duel and you can't use it at the turn to the grave. It's still a fun card. I'll be playing this in Heroes with Buddy Force at a locals near you, but generally it's nowhere near as busted as it was. We were on to future changes. There's potentially going to be like a week or something where these are legal. This is Soul Fusion. They'll be legal for a little bit, so we're hitting them now, so for the little bit of time that they are legal, they'll be hit. Dino Wrestler Pancratrops. I'll probably put the image on the screen now, you can see it here. Or maybe the other side, I'm not sure where I'll edit it. It's like a, kind of like Zodiac Dryden. I think Semi-Forbidden, which it went to, is too much of a hit. I think it's fun at Ko, but that's to be tested. Pretty much everyone did not want it at Unlimited though, which is very fair, because the card is very good. And Thunder Dragon Colossus. Yeah, Colossus is quite the card. As is, it went to a semi, as is Thunder Dragon's probably the best deck, but they'll only be the best deck for like one weekend. So after this I'll expect Colossus to potentially go to Forbidden, and if people want it to keep it at semi, maybe the fusion spell will also go to semi or something else. Colossus is really good, it protects itself, it stops your opponent from searching, which isn't that relevant in Trinity, but it's still like something that's viable and relevant. Yeah, it's just a really strong card. The Thunder Dragon deck is so consistent. They've got like 4 different Unbound cards, I think. It's mental. Oh, we've got a new section now, which is Enact No Changes. Some people wanted longer formats, but if you look at like all of these changes, apart from the future changes, none of these cards are really relevant. Shadow Fusion and Light Stage haven't actually changed the metagame. Like, a card going from co to semi doesn't kill a deck or anything. But apart from that, like, nothing is relevant, so the format's already quite long anyway. It's just until someone else finds, like, another really cool deck to blow everyone else away with. And as you can see, like, no one really wanted to not have these changes. There's no reason to not put these changes into place. So, yeah. Until next month, stay groovy!